How's it going, everyone? Music Lover back with another episode, and today I want to talk about something along the lines of the last video that we talked about, a little mini-series of the shows that I watched during this last season of anime. And this time I'm going to talk about a show called 18-If. Now, 18-If was a bit strange. I watched it all the way through because it was just intriguing to me. It wasn't the best experience ever, but it did have its good sides and its bad sides. So, to start off, the story was about this boy that is stuck in this dream world that pretty much takes on these witches, which are women that are stuck in what they call Sleeping Beauty syndrome. They enter this dream world that they could pretty much do whatever they want, and the goal of this main male protagonist is to make it so they go back to the real world and continue their lives instead of living in this fantasy world. And it starts off pretty interesting. You don't get a lot of stuff revealed to you except for the very end, which the end was still a bit confusing. But along the way, it's got some pretty cool storylines and some pretty what the hell storylines. But I stuck with it. I wanted to finish it. It was different for me, and I just wanted to complete it. I was not happy with the ending. I thought it was anticlimactic. A bit frustrating. I was expecting this big old fight scene or something along those lines, and the main antagonist was pretty much talked down from millions of years of rage and wanting to kill people just from having a tea party and talking. It was kind of frustrating, actually. But yeah, the story was okay. Like I said, it wasn't fleshed out as much as I wanted to in the beginning, but I guess if you look at it, it kind of ended in one big little box of like complete, if that makes any sense. They answered all the questions for the most part. You got a couple of hints on what the complete ending was, but if you think about it, I'm pretty sure the ideas that you have of what was going on at the ending was what was actually going on. Yeah, like I said, it was okay. I wouldn't recommend it to other people because a lot of the times I felt like it wasn't going places, and then when it did feel like it was going places, it just kind of dragged on and wouldn't give me answers until the very end, which I guess a lot of shows do, but I just didn't appreciate it in this show as much. I also have other complaints with this show. I did like the art style it first presented. That was one of the main reasons I stuck with the show, because it was different from what I normally watched. It was more like a American cartoon vibe, which was kind of cool. And each episode also had its own artistic value per episode. It was very like artistic based. It was very like one episode would have to deal with puppets, the next episode would have to do with like stuffed animals and bright colors, and there was an episode where it was nothing but black and white, and it had some really great visuals, but at the same time some poor animation quality. Some of the animation looked like something I would draw. It was just lazy and just didn't look right. You would look at one section of the characters and they would look like their normal selves, and the next section of the characters, their eyes wouldn't even be in the right spot. It was kind of distracting. I try not to bash on it too much because, I mean, you gotta put stuff out there as fast as possible, but it just seemed lazy and kind of half-assed, and it kind of bugged me. Aside from some of the poor animation stuff that they did do with it, there was one thing that I really loved about the show, and that was the music. The music of this show was fantastic to me. It's one of the things that kept me interested. The intro was pretty cool, and then some of the background tracks were still amazing. I felt like the music in the show was honestly way better than the show. I felt like the music deserved a better show to go with it. I'm not sure. I think this was supposed to be based off a game. I can't say for sure. I don't know a lot about 18-If. I just picked it up and went with it, but the music was absolutely fantastic. I would definitely recommend checking it out. I'm not sure, like I said, I would recommend the show. Some of it was cool, some of it was like, what just happened? Some of the animation was kind of an so if you're a stickler about that, I'd watch out. But the music was definitely awesome. It's one of those things that I'm probably going to look up and try to see if I can buy it because I enjoyed it that much. But yeah, overall, this show was just okay at most. I was very disappointed at the ending. It felt anticlimactic. it went on for several episodes, building up what we thought was going to be a fight and then turned into a tea party, as I said. I was not impressed with that, and I'm kind of still irked about it because it felt like it was a waste of my time. But others might like it. I don't want to completely bash on it and say, don't watch it, but I just want to warn you, if you're going to try it out, those are my complaints and ideas about it. But yeah, I just wanted to share another show that I watched this season, a little bit of a review and a little bit of a summary of what happened in the show. There's probably some spoilers, I'm sorry if there is, but I just wanted to get my opinion out there. If you guys have any opinions on the show, or if you know anything else about it that I might not know, please let me know, because it might help me understand it a bit more, because at the beginning it was a bit hard to understand because it just goes right in there and you're a little lost. But anyway, thank you for listening. I hope this was entertaining for you. I hope maybe you give it a shot. If you don't, it's totally cool. I just wanted to get my ideas out there. And thank you for listening, and peace.